A 5-bass limits. Welcome, everyone, to episode 7, Catching Up with Chris Jones. You know, back not so long ago, 2008, there was a professional angler out of southern Florida by the name of Jimmy McMillan. Yeah, he went on to win the FLW Series BP Eastern Division Angler of the Year that year. And in 3 years on the FLW Series Eastern Division, he amassed a whole lot of money, a whole lot of points, and became a well-known professional angler in the FLW universe. Tragically, he passed away in 2012, but his 2 sons have carried on his fishing legacy. Both of them have qualified for the Forest Wood Cup multiple times. They're both very young in their fishing career. Brandon McMillan, Mack, has won over $600,000. He has 2 wins, 19 top 10s, a 4-time Forest Wood Cup qualifier, in 6 years as an FLW Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit professional angler. His brother Jared McMillan, J-Mac, has won $250,000 himself. He's fished 3 years on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, and this is his 3rd year. The past 2 years, he qualified for 2 Forest Wood Cups. He has 13 top 10s with FLW, including 1 win. I want to welcome them both in to the show. This is B-Mac and J-Mac, the McMillan brothers. What's going on, guys?
How's it going, Chris?
Good. Thanks for having us, Chris.
Man, it's good to see you guys, man. Good to see you guys. We're 3 tournaments into the 2020 season, Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, and you guys are both having a good year to get things started. Then this COVID-19 coronavirus stuff hits, shuts the whole world down, man. So I'm playing catch up with our professional anglers. What have the McMillan brothers been up to during this whole COVID-19 stuff, man?
Well, for me, I've just been home working. I'm a full-time UPS driver, so we've been burning it at both ends here, trying to get everything that we can delivered and stuff like that. I really hadn't done a whole lot of fishing, to be honest with you. I've gone out on Okeechobee a few times, and since we got back from Lake Martin, but other than that, man, we've been busy delivering whatever we can deliver.
What about you, J-Mac? What you been up to, man?
I deliver some chemicals and fertilizer to golf courses whenever I'm home and not fishing and stuff like that. And I actually work for my team partner, and we've been slow with all this stuff going on. So I've gotten to fish a lot lately, and it's been nice, to get out there and do some stuff for your sponsors, do some good old fun fishing instead of hard at tournament fishing like we're used to. But definitely ready to get this thing get back going.
Guarantee you, man. Let's talk about Okeechobee. How's it fishing, man? It's been in the news a lot over the past couple years. Water issues down there, water quality issues, I guess. How's it fishing, man?
It's fishing good. I mean, it is. In general, I mean, the water's pretty clear. The water's low. The water is clear. We're getting a little bit better water, clarity and stuff like that. But I mean, and overall fishing is pretty solid. I mean, you hit or miss some days, but in general, pretty solid.
Are the numbers coming back a little bit?
Yeah.
It's got the size.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you get a lot of numbers now too. It's just we're kind of losing some of the size. That's what I haven't seen is those real big fish, those 8 to 10 pound fish. We haven't seen a lot of, and maybe they're just all hiding. I don't know. That low water's got them scared.
How did a couple guys from Southern Florida? Let's go back. Let's talk about Jimmy McMillan. Let's talk about Dad for just a minute. Jimmy wins an FLW Series BP Eastern Division event back several years ago, and then goes on to win the Angler of the Year. And that stop that year was 4 stops. That stop included a trip to Lake Champlain in Plattsburgh, New York. Very consistent. What is in the McMillan blood that we all are dying to have, where you guys can go all over the country and be so good, so consistent, man? Because listen, let's admit it. I live on Kentucky Lake. Kentucky Lake doesn't look like Okeechobee. Yet you guys can come up to Kentucky Lake and catch it. I can't go down to Okeechobee and figure it out like you guys can come up to Kentucky Lake and figure it out. What makes you guys so good? How you guys catch them all over the country?
Oh, I don't know. We just sheer luck,
Yeah.
good fortune, I guess.
Yeah, I know that's bull.
You know,
Thankfully, most places we go, you can catch some fish shallow.
Yeah.
And that's what we really ride our tournaments off of. And when we have to go out deep, we have, you know, a good networking system, and you know, we get it done whenever we have to, and however we have to.
Usually by the time we get to the out deep tournament, hopefully we've had enough good shallow tournaments that we can afford to have a bad one.
Yeah, we can ride it out.
That's usually my motto. Make a top 10, get a couple checks, and then have 102 and 112, whatever, and call it good, go on home.
That's hilarious, man.
That's it's going to be different now moving forward with our new schedule and our new lineup and stuff like that. It's definitely gonna change the deal. It's not going to be a bank beaters type of tournament anymore. It doesn't seem like. So I don't know. It'd be good. We're looking forward to it.
You can still catch them shallow, though. You guys still catch
yeah.
them shallow, even when it's hot and everybody's on the ledges, like the Tennessee River stuff. You guys still go to banks and catch them, don't you?
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
Let's talk about, you obviously you're both prolific flippers, and I think the year that Randall Tharp won that event had over 100 pounds. And we're going to talk about Brandon. We're going to talk about the Century Club, and you're part of that too. But I think one of the things that was I remember about that tournament is he was fishing those mats that were really anchored down, and I think you and him had networked, and I think had a really good relationship, a good friendship there. And talk to us about the keys to being successful fishing heavy grass like that, grass mats and flipping. What's your go-to bait? That kind of stuff. Break it down. How do we fish Okeechobee?
I mean, well, right now you get out, and I mean, right now is a little different. But back in the day, it was it was pretty much it was a pretty simple deal. Find where the fish are spawning, and then find where the thickest, heaviest, nastiest stuff was. And they were gonna go to it, going and coming. That's where they were gonna stop. They were gonna pull up there, and that's where they were gonna, when they were leaving, that's where they were gonna stop again on their way out. So it was pretty good. It was just a great intersection to cut them off with. And man, I mean, and it still works like that out here today. It's I mean, over the years I've used a variety of baits and weights and stuff, but we just come out with a new bruiser with the new little crawl called a Mack Daddy crawl. That's something we worked on for the last couple of years. And that's pretty much been my go-to for the last 3 or 4 years. And then before that, it was, beaver style bait or anything small and compact. I mean, really, when you're dropping it through those thick mats, it doesn't really matter too much.
That's what I was going to say. You use real heavy weight, right? Heavy weights.
Yeah. Ounce and a half is my preferred, my go-to, size weight, but I really don't. I mean, I get asked this question, what's your favorite color for flipping? What's your favorite bait? I mean, truthfully, I don't really think it matters. Most of your bites come on the fall, and it doesn't matter. Just a quick side note, one of the guys that taught me how to flip years and years ago, he used to not peg his sinker, take an ounce and a half weight and not peg it. He thought it had kept it from, would hang him up more and stuff like that. So I fished many a team tournaments where he would flip into a hyacinth mat, the weight would fall through, his bait would be stuck on top of the mat, and the fish would eat his weight. And so it didn't matter if the weight was silver, pink, purple, didn't matter what color crawdad was under the back of it. It was, and so, and anyway, we ended up not catching that one because, but that happened more times than I can count. I can tell you that.
I guarantee you, man. Does bottom composition, does that matter? Are you looking for a hard bottom, or what you looking for?
I mean, hard bottom is key. Definitely. That was one of the reasons why my old partner didn't like to do that, because he felt like the weight was so heavy that it would stick into the, all the sediment, stuff like that. That's due to, the spraying and just, natural decay of everything. Hard bottom's key pretty much wherever you go, from Lake Champlain to the Florida Keys. I mean, it's definitely hard bottom seems to be what they want to be around.
For sure.
When you guys left Florida, your dad had so much success. He left Florida, goes and wins the Angler of the Year title. And that's, again, that's in that McMillan blood, man. You guys just catch them all over the country, everywhere we go. But you guys leave Florida, man. those first years, was that pretty intimidating, B-Mac?
It was for me. It was for me. My rookie year on tour, I didn't know anybody. I didn't really have anybody to travel with. I remember my wife and I, we pretty much just stayed in the hotel room, by ourselves. And it was, I mean, you could find a lot of similarities to places and stuff. And the guy I practiced with, I mean, he was a Tennessee River guy, back when we had co-anglers. So he kind of helped me out a little bit and stuff, but it's still a struggle. I mean, it's definitely still a struggle. I don't think you can ever learn it all,
J-Mac, you always had, you had B-Mac ahead of you a little bit on the timeline there, man. You had him to kind of lean on your first 2 years, this being your third year. So your first 2 years on the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, that helped.
It did. So I didn't, and that year we also, our first 2 stops were in Florida. So and I did well. So that really got me rolling, got me into the swing of things on how the tour rolled, how everything went and stuff. Cause I was all new to it and hadn't really, besides some of the Costa or Rayovac or whatever they were back in the days, whatever I fished leading up to them. I just wasn't in that swing, in that ready mindset. And it's different, when you get out here and you gotta be mentally prepared. And I didn't realize that as much as I kind of did, just rolling off of what I was used to here. Once I got on the road, everything was everything kind of was thrown at me all at once type deal. So, I mean, now I've got everything a little more organized, a little more situated. And I like to say that I do anyways. But,
oh, brother ain't gonna let you lie on TV.
So
I love it, man.
It's a little better. It's getting better and better every year. We should say that anyways.
There you go, man. Hey,
yeah, I'll give him that.
Okay. You guys are, I mean, you had Gussie. You used to network with Gussie. Who you guys running with these days, man?
Jordan Osborne.
Yeah.
That's
basically it. Yeah.
Yeah. When everything split.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When everything kind of shook up last year, it took us a couple tournaments and we wound up, getting hooked up with Jordan, and it's been,
it's been good. Yeah.
Been fast is it's good. We get along. He's a Texas boy. He's a good old dude. So yeah, he lost his traveling partner, Zach Burge, and then we lost Gussie. And,
so it kind of worked out, and our styles of fishing don't really match up. So it kind of, we feed off each other and learn, and feel like we make each other better.
Absolutely. Hey, both of you guys, again, Brandon, you won over $600,000, and Jared, $250,000 already. Your resume's really impressive. Number of top tens, both of you have won. The way that FLW sets up its circuits, from the high school stuff to the college stuff, you get the Phoenix Bass Fishing League, the Toyota Series. You guys have had success at all levels. The Phoenix Bass Fishing League, the BFL stuff, the Toyota Series. How important was having that success? How important was that to lead up to the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit?
Oh, I mean, for me, that was the best thing that you could ask for, And I think that the system that we have in place now seems to be better, in my opinion. I don't want to say easier, but it's a better way for a guy. It's a cheaper way now for a guy to, to work his way up.
Sure.
I think back when I started, we had 3 or 4 divisions. May have had more than that, but we would travel from us living so far, south in Florida that we do, anything Tennessee, and stuff like that was quite a haul. But now everything's like regional based, and it's pretty nice. You can get 3 within, a few hours of your house, even where we live. So that's awesome. But that was big for me, to get an experience how to fish and how to do things, how to do your tackle prep and get ready, and and not listen to the bunch of the dock talk and stuff like that. Like, that's one of the biggest things, that you need to show up to, to these tournaments, and you start listening, and your mind starts wandering, and then you go home after the meeting and you rig another 24 rods that you're never going to use. And that, so it was a lot better to learn that lesson when you're paying $1,000 back then or whatever it was than when you're paying $5,000 now.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh man, that's well said. Yeah, the Forest Wood Cups, man. So J Mack, Jared, you were there. You know your rookie season, had a great rookie season. You make the FLW Cup. No sophomore slump for you, man. Your second year, you had another good year, make the Forest Wood Cup. And then B-Mac, you've been there 4 times, I think, in 5 or 6 years. Those Forest Wood Cups, man, that's a lot of fun for you guys, man. Let's talk about Forest Wood Cup experiences, man. What was it like on the fishing end of it?
Oh, it's incredible the show that it is, and not really knowing, you know, until you really get there, how much is put on and what goes into it, and just the nerves that go into it, and those days leading up to it, and how much, I don't know, anxiety that I had. Didn't really experience that in the regular season events. But when my first cup when I got there, it was really like a big shock. It was almost like fishing, you know, my first tour event for the first time.
Absolutely. B-Mac?
I mean, you can't go wrong with making a cup, no doubt. You know, I kind of feel a lot more relaxed. You know what I mean? Once we usually end that last tournament, you know that you made it, like it's good. You're gonna get a paycheck. Everything's gonna be good. You're gonna have a good time. Bring the family up. That's you. I mean, the last 4 or 5 years, we've all had. It's like basically our family reunion. You know, wherever we are, whether it's Arkansas, we're gonna go to New York. Finally, some place where we can maybe a little cooler than South Florida or you know,
or Arkansas.
Yeah, or Arkansas the last 2 years. But yeah, I mean, it's a great experience. We bring our families along. You know, the grandparents come and stuff like that, and aunts and uncles and cousins, and you know, whether we claim them or not, they're still family, so they come. So yeah, but yeah, it's always good, and you know, you can't go wrong with making a cup. You're gonna get paid, you know, and if it happens to be your 3 days now that we fish, if it happens to be your 3 days on the lake, then you know it's a good deal. It's a good paycheck.
Absolutely. Well, you know, because of the coronavirus, we have revamped the schedule. Can't tell you how hard the tournament directors at FLW have been working on rescheduling all the tournaments and what have you. They work so hard. You know, what goes on behind the scenes to set everything up is so important, and those guys have worked so hard. So we've got 3 events left. We're halfway through the 2020 Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit season. 3 events left, and then this thing culminates at the end of August. Messina, New York. We're going to be on the St. Lawrence River. It's a major league fishing BPT format where it's catch, weigh, and release. And you guys both off to a really good start halfway through the year. You want to be there, man. What's your thoughts on the FLW title, our new championship, and $200,000 first place prize to the champ?
Well, I mean, again, making the championship is the end goal for all of us. But you know, we're going. The 2 of us, we don't catch smallmouth until we go up north. And here lately, it's been like 1 tournament a year, and that's usually the one we look forward to. We could have one right here at Okeechobee, but at the end of the year, Champlain, St. Clair, wherever we're going to go, that's the one that we like to go. You know, that we look forward to. So to go to, I believe it's arguably one of the best smallmouth lakes, rivers in the country. So that's pretty good. That's you know, that's worthy of going anyway, and then add $200,000 to it. It's pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
and the catch all you can format, it'll be cool to learn and fish something a little bit different that we've never really gotten to experience. We've gotten to watch it with MLF, you know, throughout the years and stuff. And I look forward to changing a little bit of the style and way we fish accordingly to that format. Sure. I mean, it's something that I've never done, never really practiced for. Probably will in the next 2 or 3, you know, events, start to you know, put a little bit of that into mind.
Yep. Where are you guys sitting right now in the points? J Mack, you're up there pretty good, right?
Yeah, I'm in 9th.
9th. B Mac, you're in that top 50.
I think I'm 30 something, 35th, somewhere around there.
Gotcha. So off to a good start, man. That's no surprise. Let's talk about B-Mac. Let's talk about the Century Club, man. Let's talk about catching over 100 pounds in 4 days and winning a 6-figure check.
Man, that was I mean, that was the highlight of my career. There's no doubt.
And there's only a few guys that are part of the FLW Century Club, man.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. There's no doubt. I just look back at catching all the fish and stuff like that I did during that week. Not just the ones that I weighed in, just the amount of fish that I caught. I mean, that's what I tell my buddies. I mean, I think I had like 70 bites, and I didn't catch 70 fish on the last day, the final day. After Tharp and I had went down that 200-yard stretch, dozens of times for the 3 previous days, I get 70 bites on the final day. Like that's pretty awesome.
What was your total weight?
106 pounds, something like that.
Was there anybody else in that tournament that broke 100 pounds?
There was actually 3 of us.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Tharp did it.
And
Chad Pro.
Chad Pro.
There you go. You ran on Chad Pro.
Yep.
All over 100 pounds.
All over 100 pounds. And Tharp and I did it out of, I mean, pretty much the same couple 100-yard stretch. So that was that was even more impressive.
Absolutely.
But no, it was cool. I mean, it was just neat. Like with all the virus and stuff, the stuff about the virus, and we've been shut down. You guys aired some of the old TV shows, and our youngest brother and I watched it the other day, and I'm like, wow, that was pretty good. Just how the lake looked, back then. It's been several years ago now, but it was cool.
You and I look different too, man.
Yeah, absolutely, no doubt on that.
We looked a lot younger, man.
Yeah, we did. That's for sure.
That was a good time. Now, was it the next year when Randall caught over 100 pounds and won it?
Yeah, sure was.
That was the next year. So those 2 years, it was really Okeechobee was fishing really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think y'all were tied on day one. Him and Randall were tied on day one with like 33 pounds on the 2012 event.
That's great. What were your bags, man? Do you remember a 33-pound? But did you have another one over there?
That was in the
That was the year that Randall won that we caught. I caught 33.
You caught 27.
I had a 27. Well, I broke my big. I had 27 something the first day, which was the biggest 5 bass limit I'd weighed in my by myself in my career. And then the next day I catch 29 and broke that. And then I caught like
25 and 25.
25 and 25.
25 and a half, 25 and a half.
Yeah, that was nuts. And I couldn't tell you how many 3-pounders that I threw back, 4-pounders. It was, it gives me chill bumps now, like, because the lake doesn't look anything like it now. And and to judge Okeechobee on those couple of years to what it is now is kind of, it's kind of sad, but it's a cycle. It's going through a downturn, but it's good. I mean, the lake's super low. We're going to get a lot of good grass coming back, and and if we can maintain the spraying to stay down a little bit, we'll get some more of them good hyacinth mats coming back. But
low water is definitely what we need.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, no, Raymond Iglesias down there, man. He works hard for you guys, doesn't he?
He does.
On the legal end of it, I know he's petitioned the governor, right?
Yeah. I went by and saw him this week and said hi, and I said, well, been thinking there's not anything good coming of this coronavirus deal, but if there is a silver lining, maybe the state will be broke after the end of this, and we'll have to start cutting some budget. Maybe they'll cut the spraying out. That's kind of been, we're just going to keep our fingers crossed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff, man. Well, I'm sure these fisheries, man, they go through cycles, Remember Eufaula? It went through a cycle. Santee Cooper, Kentucky Lake, because the carp issue, it's going through a cycle now. They're putting millions of dollars into Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley to get it fixed, and we're starting to see that pay off a little bit. The numbers are kind of coming back and good size. So I'm sure Okeechobee will rebound too, man. Let's talk about your dad's legacy, man. I was fortunate enough to be around Jimmy Mack, for several years there. I was fortunate enough to crown him champion at Okeechobee, to crown him Angler of the Year up at Lake Champlain. Fishing is in your blood, man. His death tragically, I'll never forget the impact that it made on me personally and it made on the fishing world. The outpouring of love towards you and your family proved how important he was to all of us. But I know that blood that courses through your veins, man. And he is up on high watching y'all. And I know he's smiling down on you, man. You got to feel him every time you get on the water.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. No doubt. It's kind of, I don't know, for me, I can't speak for Jared, but it's good to have him, to have memory and stuff like that. It is a little sad that he doesn't get a chance to go and room with us and practice with us when he could have. And, I really needed him around to wrangle this one around and, straighten him up from time to time. But no, I mean, it's good. I mean, this is what we love to do, and we're going to continue to do it and, and just do what we can. And, but, it's good. We're all right.
Yeah.
Both of you guys always come through boat check smiling, ready to go fishing. You're in your element when you're on the water. I think that you're just blessed with God-gifted ability, man. You're so talented, and you have proved that you're both very versatile. Your consistency is really impressive, man. All right, let's talk about fishing heroes. I think I know who your fishing hero is, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Fishing hero, Mack, you first.
Well, for me, I mean, it's my dad, obviously. But I've always been a flipper, and I've always been a little fond of Denny Brower. And so that's a good one. And I was fortunate enough to make my first cup in the same year that he made his last one. So it was kind of cool. Just I like the old guy, the old school guys, the old flippers and stuff like that. So
me too, buddy. Me too.
Yep.
J-Mac?
Oh, it's my dad, hands down. And, just getting to have one of the best, for what his time was that he got on the water to share with me and learn and from him and stuff like that. I couldn't have asked for anything else. So it's the reason I'm here, and I'm just trying to grow on that.
Absolutely, man. After your dad passed away, I guess Mack, you picked up the slack on that end, man. Started taking him fishing. You took J-Mac fishing? Yeah,
we did. We fished quite a bit together.
Yeah.
We don't fish near as much now as we have, together. But it's it's been good. I've enjoyed having Jared out there. It's been fun. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of nights in a hotel room where we're wanting to strangle one another. But
that's family, man. I get it.
That's it. So.
Oh man, that's good stuff. Yeah, I figured you were a good mentor. After Jimmy left us, I knew that Jared was in your boat. You could tell, man, just the way you guys fish, and I think again, I can't tell you how talented and gifted you guys are. It's one thing to be successful on your home lake in Florida, but to go all over the country and do what you guys have done, you can just tell that it's in your blood, man. I know your he's watching down on you, and I know how proud he is of you. All right, let's talk about, most memorable fish catch. What you got for me? You got anything on one of them come to mind, the one that got you into the Forest Wood Cup? Maybe one this year that got you into a cut?
Is this one for both of us, or is this just for him?
For both of you.
I think it just should be just for him, because I don't even have anything that's even close. Like, I can't even, and it's on video. It's proof. Like, yeah, I'm not even gonna come close.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
What you got, Mack? What you got?
Well, that one in 2018 here on Okeechobee. I think it was the third day where I had a GoPro on me, and I flip into a mat, and I get a bite, and I set the hook. She's got her about halfway back to the boat, and she pops off, and then I just at it. I don't know. I lunged for her, and I missed, and then just almost that close, and I went a little bit further, and I fell right on in, because I'm not as agile as I used to be. and somehow, I don't know, maybe it was our old man looking down on us. Somehow, I couldn't see anything. I was scared I was going to get snake bit. I was going to drown. And, it's dark under those hyacinth mats. So, and I just somehow, I felt the fish, or it was a moccasin. I wasn't sure, but I wanted to get it away from me. So just happened to be the right place at the right time. Sheer luck. Couldn't do it again. Lost my flip flop. It was cold. It was windy. I mean, our youngest brother was out there. I flagged him down. I made him give me his other shoe, his hoodie. I mean, it was a disaster. But yeah, that one definitely got me into the cut. So
absolutely. Hey, I'll never forget that. That video went viral, man. That video went viral, and that was. Yeah, you were on the agility end. I don't know if I'm going to rank you 1 to 10, but I'll let you guess it. But you got the fish in, man. That was a big time fish catch right there. J Mack, you don't have one for me? Fish catch?
I caught a 5-pounder at the end of live this year at the Harris chain that came off and hit the side of the boat and fell in, and I got pretty excited about that one. And I mean, it didn't really keep me in the hunt as much as I thought it would have on that cold front day, being that Laramie caught him that well. But in my mind, it was a huge deal. It was, I mean, literally at the end of live at 2 o'clock, that's when we had to leave Lake Apopka and head back. So, it was a huge fish for me and kept me up in the top 10, kept me in striking range. And that's all I wanted for the last day.
Absolutely, man.
We were not on Lake Apopka either, though. Just clarify that in case we go back. We were not down there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, Lake Griffin, I mean.
Yeah, we were
on there you go.
We can
can't know that, boys.
So.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. Well, that's good stuff, man. It's it's kind of one of those things. There's two major movements going on in the fishing world right now. You got that major international movement going on. We partnered up with several countries. I think we partnered up with 10 countries. And so you see the international movement growing in the fishing scene. But also there's a major youth movement going on right now with the high school stuff, the Yeti College fishing stuff that's going on. These young anglers, man, they are really good. Talk on that of just for a minute, like Laramie Strickland. I mean, of course, he top 10 last year at the Toyota Series Championship, but, that was on Lake Cumberland, and which is nothing like you see in Florida where he's from. He's a former high school state champion. But we've had other guys that have come up, man, that are doing really well, too. Hunter Freeman, former college champion.
Yeah.
These young guys, man, and you're part of that youth movement, both of you guys, and you guys catch them. And you don't seem to be intimidated by the old guard, man, the legends of the sport.
Man, there's so much information out there now. There's so much more that we have more accessible, but back then, it was, you could watch, Roland Martin on TV on Saturday mornings, and that was about it. You get a magazine, you'd read a couple tips, and that was it. Now, man, everything is out there between YouTube and social media and the stuff that the organizations do at the end of tournaments, what I mean, going in that extra step on how Laramie actually caught them that tournament at the Harris chain. Man, it really opens the doors for, it really slows the growing pains down tremendously. It has for me. I mean, the knowledge is there. It's just how much can you retain, how fast, and put it to use on the water, because it's we're not reinventing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to take it and use it for however you can use it, that particular day or that hour, is the way it goes sometimes on the water. But yeah, there's so much knowledge out there now that it definitely speeds up the learning curve for sure. And there's more platforms too. I mean, I just know how the BFLs and the Costas and stuff like that, the Toyota Series now has changed, has helped me, along then now starting in high school and then college and, stuff like that. I mean, before you know it, there'll be Pee-wee league fishing and, and it'll be
all those extra steps getting ahead.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
People getting, fishing from a younger age, just like we did, even though we did it with our dad and in local tournaments instead of college and high school tournaments and stuff like that. That just helped us grow. The more you fish, the more you learn and stuff, and the longer they're in it, I think it's the better. more places you see and the more techniques you can learn. I mean, it's a growing deal, and that's why you don't have to be intimidated by the older guys that have a lot of success. Yeah, they know a lot of the stuff too, but they're different fisheries every time, and you gotta relearn them, and do your thing. You do your job every time you go out there.
Man, that is great stuff. Great stuff coming from two of the youngest anglers to the best young anglers in the history of FLW, of the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. Both of you guys, great resumes, so much success. Well, this is your time, man. Any thank yous? Anybody you want to give a shout out to anywhere in the FLW universe? B-Mack, J-Mack, it's your time. Go.
Man, I just want to thank my sponsors again. With everything, with us not fishing, they have continued to support both of us. And it's been pretty special. So it's, it makes you feel more like a family than an employee.
Yeah.
And the whole organization, stuff like this, doing this and doing extra articles and stuff like that, just trying to show everybody some love, to continue to get the sponsors to continue to pay you. Because at the end of the day, it's so tough to be out here and do this without them. It's been good. We've been fortunate, and I'm chomping at the bit to get back to fishing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely ready to go. Same thing. Thank you for my sponsors, and we're ready to get back out there and ready to do our job again.
I love you guys, man. I miss you guys on the stage, man.
We miss you.
Are you waiting to hear me say a 5S limit on Championship Sunday?
We are. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love you guys and miss you guys. Thank both of you guys. Jared, Brandon, thanks so much for joining me on episode 7, Catching Up with Chris Jones. It's been a blast, man.
Yep. Thank you, Chris.
Yep. Thanks for having us.
See ya.
You guys stay safe and stay healthy, and I'm going to see you. We got 3 events left. I'm going to see you on the tournament trail very soon. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody. For all things fishing, log on to flwfishing.com. It's the world's most popular competitive fishing website. Next week, we'll be back with a new pro. And stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next week. God bless.